Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here live with Lee Hamilton of the home team at Allen Tate, Realty here in Rock Hill, South Carolina.
Yes, sir.
You're right off of here off of Ebenezer, correct?
That's right.
I appreciate you for having me here.
Yeah, I'm excited. I appreciate you being here. It's going to be fun.
Yes, sir. So we had ran into each other at a local grocery store, and we were over in the tea section. It's a lot of bugs going around, and yeah, I've definitely been on my herbal tea with the honey action. Throw a little lemon in there, you know what I'm saying?
I sure do.
For sure. Just let the people, the listeners that aren't like familiar with you, haven't met you, or in the actual local area, or like went to school with us, let them know your credentials, please.
Yeah, absolutely. My name's Lee Hamilton, as Cedero said. I've been knowing Cedero for a long time, way back running around in high school, then Clemson and all that good stuff. So we go a little ways back, but fun to do something professionally with you.
Absolutely, bro.
Like I said, Lee Hamilton, I'm with the home team at Allen Tate Realtors. Started that team along with my partners in 2018, and been doing that since. So enjoyed that. Been very blessed to have the successes we've had, and have really enjoyed it.
Absolutely. Now, how did your time in Clemson shape your path, both professionally and like personally?
Sure, that's a great question. I don't think it taught me a thing at all about real estate, because I wasn't intending to get into real estate, but it sure taught me how to stand on my own 2 feet, so to speak. You know, you leave your mom and dad's house, and you know, for me, probably hadn't even done more than a few loads of laundry myself.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Paying bills, learning how to feed myself and take care of myself, and just be an adult that can stand on his own feet is really the best thing I learned at Clemson. It didn't have anything to do with the books and the study, and of course all that stuff's great, and having a base of knowledge is helpful. But I think just learning how to be out on your own and make your own choices without anybody telling you what you have to do. You go out and do what you need to do, and sort of just grow up a little bit. Leave school and feel like you got a base behind you to go find it and make it on your own.
Absolutely, brother. I went to Clemson as well. Got down, didn't really have a good head on my shoulders, but I did what I had to do, gained some good connections, and actually ended up back going to York Tech and finishing up at Winthrop University here in Rock Hill, South Carolina. So I ain't got my Eagles hat on, but you know what I'm saying, I'm soaring. Do you remember any particular experience or lesson from Clemson that still influences how you do business today?
I remember after my freshman year having some very serious conversations with my folks and other folks about not going back to Clemson. Just wasn't really hacking it. It was a hard adjustment. It was a struggle to go from. We went to high school together, and it really wasn't that taxing to get high school. Other than just do the work. You put your head down, you go to work, and the teachers will put you through. At Clemson, it was a little more than that. You got to really go do the things that they are expecting you to do, and I think I took a bare minimum approach my freshman year, and it almost cost me the next 3 years, which were wonderful. So I came back sophomore year. I did a couple things. I found the gym, which I know you're a big gym guy. Keeping yourself healthy, keeps your mind clear, keeps you motivated. And I found the library, and it really wasn't the books. It was just the time to sit apart, away from everybody that wants to throw a football or go watch a movie. Just a time to set aside to go be intently focused on what it takes to be a college student and to thrive there. So finding the gym, finding the library, finding the better dining hall. You know how that was. You got that freshman dining hall, wasn't all that. So,
hey, what's the name of the one in the horseshoe?
It was Shaletter.
Yeah, Shaletter.
That wasn't hitting
they had a different name for it back in the day.
Yeah, they did. I won't say it.
Shout out to them.
They did. I went over to the other one, Harcum.
Harcum, yeah.
On Sundays, you could hit Clemson House for fried chicken and eggs and bacon all at once.
I'm trying to tell you, bro. People don't know nothing about that, though. Yeah, man. So, yeah. Let me ask you this real quick, because one thing that I noticed that was different from going to Clemson. Yeah, the classes were pretty difficult, but I was partying a lot, so I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. So, but what I did notice was like the size of the classes. Like, did you ever have a class at Clemson in bracket 300?
Absolutely.
I had an econ class in that. It was like, how many students does that place hold?
Dude, that's the reason I have glasses now. I sat back that first day, and I looked down. And I said, I cannot see that. I've never been in that far from the teacher or the board.
Right.
I couldn't see anything. I said, I can't do this. I went straight away, got eyeglasses. I've had them ever since.
Yeah. But like my point is, it's such a disconnect, at least it was for me, sitting in the back of those like large auditorium style classrooms versus back here, like going to Tech, of course, and then Winthrop, it was more intimate with the professor, smaller classes and everything. So parents may want to consider that, and future students consider that as well, as far as the size of the classes, and sit up front if you're going to go to one of the big auditoriums. That's just some advice from me. I've been there, done that. So So what drew you into real estate after college? Like, was it something that you always envisioned? I know at the beginning you said you didn't, but like, at what point did you think about real estate?
Yeah, no, that happened really naturally for me. It was it's one of just the biggest changing points in my life. Always been fine, but I've never, wasn't thriving exactly. I had a job at a school. We graduated into a recession. I
Yeah.
had a job, not a bad job, as a HVAC company, commercial heating and cooling. I was doing it every day, but it wasn't something I was passionate about. But at that time, you took the job you could get. You remember those times.
Mm-hmm.
And I got laid off from that. Huge blessing. They were very nice to me. It was just, we can't keep you here. We don't have work. I understood it. I went away from that and had a lot of free time. Yeah, I was real in shape, best shape I've ever been in. I was just in the gym all the time, trying to just stay focused with intent, not trying to party too much just because I had the time. That sends you in a bad direction. So I had a buddy of mine that was, he sold real estate. And we spent a lot of time in the mornings getting outside. We'd do fishing, we'd go hiking, hunting, all that kind of good stuff. And I said, man, I finally said, how can you do this? I know you make good money. He said, brother, I sell real estate. Your mornings are mine.
That's it.
Now it turns out, I ended up working a little harder than he did. And I'm in the office in the mornings and all that. But on certain days, certain times, I know I can peel off in the morning. Sun rises at 6. I got 3 hours before the phone even gonna ring. So the dead honest truth is I started selling real estate because it allowed me freedom in the mornings to do the things I wanted to do.
I just got chills, ladies and gentlemen, because I love what I do, and I can take my daughter to school, go hit the gym. And I always mention sauna, but I handle a lot of business in the sauna mentally. So, but yeah, I mean, just having that freedom to do things that help you. Like, you have to take time out of the day for yourself so you can be the best presentation of yourself for your family, your friends, your colleagues, anybody that you see, a stranger. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's a good medicine, man. I'm on that prescription daily.
That's good, man. And I don't want to say I don't work hard because I do, but I always know I can carve out some time. That's keep your head right. I got to be if I don't take care of me, I can't take care of my clients or my family, which comes first, of course. You know that. I know you got the daughter, so you got to keep you right to take care of everybody else in your life.
Absolutely. Good stuff. How do you stay connected to Clemson community now? Like, as an alumni, like, do you participate in events, or even like, do you have clients with the same background?
I do a little bit with York County Clemson Club. Cool. Donate there to some of those events.
Nice.
Not super heavy on it. I do go to football games. I think football keeps us all closer than anything else, academically speaking, to be honest. And it's a great reason to go back, though. Like I told you before we started up, I'm going to the Florida State game in a couple weeks. And I'm going with all my old roommates. I mean, that's been almost 20 years. There's 8 of us. Got a lake house. We used to live together in those dumpy old apartments, walking to Taco Bell at 2 a.m. and all that stuff you'd never do now.
How about that Subway? Nice. You remember that Subway downtown, bro?
That was the highest grossing Subway in America.
Then what was the other sub place? Beezer's?
There was a Beezer's in freshman
Shout out to
year.
Beezer's, yo.
For real. They had barbecue on the sub.
Bro, with the banana pepper?
Yes.
Man, quit playing with me, bro.
Hey, and they stayed open late.
Late, like 3?
Yes, I don't know when, but it was never closed when I went.
It wasn't nothing good going on when they were still open, but
that's the only thing good going on was a Beezer's sub.
Helping people try to prevent them hangovers.
That's right.
That ain't really scientifically proven. I don't think I'm not a doctor. What's one thing about college age Lee that would surprise the person that you are today, bro?
I've always been a person more or less inclined to positivity and being relatively happy. It's never been a struggle for me. I say that, and I know I'm blessed in that regard. But I do not think I ever thought I would have as much financial success, being frank. This has been a job that's allowed me to really have a good job, not just a job you go to. I could live with that. It'd be fine. But this has allowed a lot of opportunity that, frankly, I didn't expect for myself. So I think that's come out of school, you go find what you can find, and I just was just so blessed to end up in something that it's just got a lot of wings underneath it, so to speak. There's a long way you can go in real estate.
Bro, I'm so happy for you, bro.
Thank
for
you.
Real. This is crazy. Shout out to your wife, Jess.
Yo, thank you.
Nickname Hendrix, right? She was ahead of the curve, because back in the day when I used to hang out with everybody, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't a huge Jimi Hendrix fan, but I'm a super duper fan now, bro. So shout out to Jess.
Well, that's my son's name now is Hendrix with the X, just like Jess's name.
Shout out to Lucy and everybody from back in the day.
Of course.
So we're going to kind of change gears a little bit. So what initially drew you to Allen Tate Realty specifically, and what sets it apart from the agencies in like other agencies in the Carolinas?
Yeah, absolutely. That's an easy one. I was selling real estate 7 or 8 years prior to another local company, good people, nothing wrong with it.
Mm-hmm.
But it was not exactly set up to scale up. Um, Formed my team, the home team, with some others and my partners, Nate Mallard, J. Robert Hyman, Jordan Norman. We formed this and we shopped it. We went to every brokerage in York County and we said, this is what we are doing. How does it fit with you? And Allen Tate rolled out a red carpet and said, this is how you fit. It's the way you ask us to make it fit. So we didn't have any choice. This is the company that said yes to everything we asked for. One of the big things is physical workspace.
Mm-hmm.
I have a hard time being at home working, like dogs, kids, I'm distracted.
Right.
I need to be locked in when I'm working. So they provided a really nice footprint for us, bricks and mortar building, which is becoming less and less common in real estate.
That's nice.
We love it here.
Yeah.
Of course, commission structures are a huge thing in real estate. They gave us everything we needed there, and they give us all the support we need from just a practical standpoint, talking about a printer and a coffee maker and all that good stuff. Of course, we have our own staff and admin. They don't provide that, but they provide a place where we can come, sit down, and go to work without having to deal with a lot of other stuff. I got to run real estate business. I don't also want to run the business of the business, fixing the heating unit and all that good stuff. Keep making sure the sprinklers work and all those things that you have to run a business. We're plug and play here. They said, come on. So we did. And it's really been a good fit. We've been here for 8 years, I believe. And I feel like we've thrived here and really have a good relationship with the folks here.
Beautiful. Now, for the people who are thinking about buying or selling right now, what is like one misconception that you wish you could clear up for them? Sure.
I think the misconception is when people come and say, is it a good market or it's a bad market?
Right.
They read national news or they see it on the news and they say, this is a bad time to buy, bad time to sell. It's not a good market. What they're seeing is that Houston and LA and New York might have these statistical points of data going up and down drastically, falling, rising. Bad year. Not here. This is Rock Hill, South Carolina, York County, South Carolina, Mecklenburg, even where Charlotte is. We don't follow those massive swings up and down. Charlotte, to an extent, does. It is a larger city, obviously. You get a lot of people coming and going. One of the fastest growing areas in the country, always is. But here in York County, where we largely sell, we're pretty inoculated to the drastic shifts upwards and downs. So if you say it's a bad market, what people really mean is it's an average market and it doesn't feel as good because we've seen really good markets. We haven't seen a bad market since the true recession. And I sold real estate coming out of that time, and it was hard. I was a new agent, which makes it hard. We haven't seen bad in a long time. And new agents that come in and think this is hard, give it time, work it. It don't happen overnight, and it don't happen easy. Show up to work and keep showing up to work. But we ain't seen a bad market. I think that's a massive misconception for agents as well as the general public. It's a fairly consistent thing. People will need houses. People have kids. People change jobs. People get divorced, unfortunately. People die, unfortunately. All those life events and life changes do often spur the need for housing. So it's not ever really, quote unquote, slow. It might be slower. Mm-hmm. It's like going 100 miles on the highway and then you got to slow down to 65 because you see that police officer. You ain't going slow. You just slow down to normal. And that's what we see a lot of times when people think it's a bad market.
Bro, well articulated, bro. Such a professional. Good stuff, man. What are some of the biggest challenges, opportunities that you're seeing for homeowners and investors right now?
Inventory. One word. There ain't nothing to buy. I always say if the milk don't have if the grocery store don't have milk, we ain't drinking milk.
Raw milk vibes.
Shout
out to Lyric Chisholm.
You got to go find it. It's just harder to find opportunities for investors. It's nearly impossible to get the margins you used to could get when you were buying houses for really in Rock Hill for $12,000, $15,000, and they need to work, of course. But if you have that skill set or the resources, you're making a margin the day you bought that property. You doubled, tripled your money. Just waiting to collect it when you sell it later or whatever it may be. But those opportunities few and far between. Too many people coming to the area for those opportunities. It's great they're coming here. I love that. That also creates opportunities for us. But those investor buyers have had a tougher run of it. You got to be able to live with smaller margins. So you got to be careful and you got to be able to make smart choices. It's a safe bet at $15,000. Any house is worth that. The lot those are sitting on are now worth double that. Tear the house down and you doubled your money. That does not exist anymore. You really got to make smart decisions, and you really do need to. Time is money. You got to have a quick turn on an investment if you're flipping, or you've got to have something that's almost tenant ready. You can't put tons of money into something if you're planning on making a 6 or 8% margin, which is great on a rental property. You got to account for it. It might need a heating and cooling unit on a roof. Are you washing the first 2 or 3 years of your tenant occupied property? So you just have to make good decisions. Trust a good agent. We've done a lot of that kind of business, and just making sure you're not making missteps from the front end. You make your money on real estate when you buy it, not when you sell it. You're just waiting to recognize those gains. So tough to be those investors. Those opportunities are just not there, and there's fewer of those people because not everybody can do it in this market.
Do you have any experience with wholesaling?
Yeah, yes and no. And our ASA that wholesaling actually in South Carolina you can't do anymore.
Right, you could do it for a while, but kind of recently there was something that happened where they changed it.
You already know them, and you can still in North Carolina, but that's not where I do the majority of my business. So, from my point of view, from a logistical standpoint, I cannot list a property in the multiple listing service that you don't own. You come to me and say, I'm going to own it. I'll say, well, then call me when you do.
Yeah. Okay. Now, how do you balance the business side of your real estate with the personal relationships that you build along the way?
Yeah, that is the hard part in real estate because in a way, or at least the expectation is that we're always on. That you call me anytime 24/7, and it's not that. It's not that. I feel like that we compete ourselves into that as real estate agents, wanting to get ahead and wanting to service everybody. And obviously, I take the job very seriously. I take my clients very seriously. I want to serve them. But I can't be 24/7. Nobody can be. There's not you text me, call me Friday at 9:00. I'm not going to see that till late Saturday morning maybe, and I will answer out and I will take care of what you need. But I'm not going to set my son down to go take a real estate call. When I'm at home with my family. I do know a lot of that comes with the ability to do that, being a little more established. But I think it's important for all of us to draw a line of the work-family balance, or the personal life and work balance is extremely important. And that is hard for newer agents, and it's hard for some experienced agents. I think just holding yourself accountable to take out time for yourself. And sometimes that looks different for us. I might on a Tuesday I can go get in a little jog or something if I got some downtime or whatever it may be, or hit the sauna like you said. I love that too. Get a good little sweat. It's not always going to look the same as other people when we take time off. But if I can steal an hour here and there to keep myself healthy and motivated, you got to find the time. And also, if I go home, I'm not saying I put the phone down and turn it off. If it's dinner time or whatever it is, that phone is in another room, at least for that hour and a half, because you just got to have that.
You have to, man. It's healthy, and it's boundaries that you have to set for yourself. This whole thing, this concept of time management, man, I've been, marinating on that for a while because, I'm setting up appointments with people, lunches, doing podcasts, helping people, just sitting down and having conversations with people. And I don't recall taking a class in middle or high school, maybe not even college, just a specific time management course. I don't know. Maybe I'll look into doing something like that with some other professionals. But so we're in the Rock. This is about community growth and perspective. So we've been growing real fast, as you know. Everybody can see that, not just in housing, but in culture and opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So what part of that growth are you most proud to be a part of?
Yeah, we do a lot locally. I do a lot locally. That's our main thing. Rock Hill is where I do 90% of my business. Happy to take on other business, but just the way I gear my business and the opportunities I seek are here local. It's what I like. It's what I know. I don't have to reinvent the wheel to go sell a house elsewhere where I may not know the agents or the inspectors, et cetera. So I'm dug in here. We do a lot here. We do not go buying real estate leads. We're sponsoring T-ball teams. You're not going to see a billboard with my face on it. I'm spending that money here in our communities. We donate to a lot of stuff we do. We just got a coat drive done. I got a box of 4 coats in there that we're going to take over to Bethel and Pathways. If I'm spending time or money, it's investing into my community, knowing that they are going to pour back into me. And Rock Hill has always done that. Rock Hill will show up. If you say, hey, come bring a coat or whatever it may be, come bring a canned good, and we're doing this for something that's here and local that we're passionate about, overwhelming support to that. Never heard people say, no, we don't want to help our community. Those are the wrong rooms to be in if they're saying no to that here in Rock Hill, because almost everybody's saying yes. We're heavily involved in volunteer efforts. Of course, Come See Me in Christmasville are our major festivals.
It's coming up.
Yep. Chaired the Come See Me Festival a few years back. The amount of business you get for that, I'm not looking for business per se. I like doing it. It's not something I'm doing to get business necessarily, but it gives back in spades.
It naturally comes. Yeah, if you're doing something with your heart and you got your, you stepping in the right direction, it's just gonna happen naturally.
Exactly.
It's authentic.
That's
And that's what we're doing here to Dap in the Hood. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Just real
sir.
conversations, laid back. I was thinking earlier, and you know how you got to go to interviews or going for a job or whatever, you got to wear a suit and tie. I mean, you can find a comfortable suit and tie every now and then, brother. But I was just telling somebody else, I'd rather wear my jiu-jitsu like rash guard than I can't trust a man in a suit and tie. I don't know what he got up his sleeve. No pun intended. I'm serious, but my jiu-jitsu people get it. How do you approach helping first-time buyers who may be nervous or unsure, like where to start?
Yeah, no, it's nothing to be nervous about, really. It's you don't know what you don't know. Ask. You need someone willing to tell you. I mean, I'll give you honest answers, even if you don't end up buying a house. And that may be what the conversation leads to. You know, if you're not ready to do that financially or just responsibility wise, owning a home comes with stuff. I mean, it comes with bills, it comes with repairs, it comes with an obligation to keep your grass cut so your neighbors' homes aren't devalued. So I think it's more than anything just helping people understand the process and what it means. And I don't mean the logistics of the contract. I'll go through that with you. Of course, that contract's 9 pages long and getting longer every year. You don't need to know all the points to that. That's what you trust me for. But I'm going to answer your questions and help you understand what this is and what you're doing, what it's going to cost you really. Because your lender is going to say exactly what your down payment is, what your interest rate is, what your monthly payment is. If that's all you're seeing, you are missing the big picture. So just being able to trust your agent. I like to think most of us here locally can be trusted. A lot of good agents. I'm not the only one. So, you know, I never want everybody's business. I want the business that's mine, that people that trust me, that I can work well with. But it's communication, education, making sure people know what they're getting into. I don't want to sell somebody a house, turn around and get foreclosed on because they weren't ready for that step. So that's not helping me or anybody else.
I don't see how people do that. How are people built that way where you could do that and just go on about your day? I wouldn't be able to sleep.
Yeah.
Setting somebody up for failure like that, bro.
No, especially first-time buyers. You know, you don't know what you don't know. You do it a few times and, hey, I'm just part of your process. You know what you're doing. Let me help you. But if it's first-time buyers or even second-time, a lot of young people, or even if you're not young, you've never done it before, you've been renting your whole life, saved up a nest egg, I want to take that seriously. You got a lot of time invested in getting to where you are. I need to in kind turn around and take it serious myself. So it's just communication, honesty, and be it willingness to answer questions, willingness maybe to do a little extra for people that need that. Everybody doesn't need it, so it's fine. You know, the people that are easy, I'm gonna let it be easy. If you need more out of it, no problem.
Good. Now, what do you think makes a great realtor versus a good one in terms of character and service?
I'd say willingness. Just you know, willing. Like I said, I'm gonna block out a little time for dinner at home, whatever. Yeah. But I'm gonna get back to those people. You know, I'm not gonna let it hang over the weekend or for 3 days. Or it's responsiveness, attentiveness to detail, being willing to not only take the call but then follow through. Someone calls and says they need something, I'm gonna say yes, handle what else I got on my plate, and then I'm gonna handle what they asked for.
I'm gonna say thank you on behalf of all of those people that you've helped, because I could only imagine, like, if somebody asks you something on a Thursday or Friday and you don't get back with them, they got that whole weekend to stew in it.
Yeah.
And they're going to probably get anxiety. And, you know, so thank you.
Well, like I say, I'm not going to run out and show them 12 houses on a Saturday just because they call me on a Friday evening. It just, you know, nobody can do that. But I will take the call. I'll give it some grace, give it some space, and give it, you know, the time it needs to at least, as you said, kind of ease their anxieties maybe. We'll see you Monday morning to get to work, but I don't want you stewing on that all weekend like you just said.
How do you define success for yourself at this stage of your life and career?
For a long time, it was about earning, and it still is. It's a job. It is. It absolutely is a job. Come here every day. I don't work for free. I don't work for charity.
You got to feed your family?
I do. I do got to feed them, but frankly, they're fed at this point. Yeah. Again, we've all been very blessed.
Yeah.
And now it is more about being able to be present with the family. Got the kid. He'll turn 3 soon. Got the dogs. Man, you got to remember them. They need to get a little walk in every now and then. Of course, the wife, you know, she's extremely important to me. I can't do what I do here without her. So obviously I got to carve out time for that. Now success looks way more like work-life balance, making sure everything on my plate with work is handled, but not overwhelming that plate, not overfilling it, so that I can be present where I need to be, which is frankly more important at home. And I don't think anyone would argue with that unless, in my opinion, their priorities are a little out of whack. So to me, success is being able to do this at a high level while also maintaining what I need to at home.
What kind of dogs you got?
I got a Beagle and a Boykin.
Cool.
One good, one bad. I won't call out which is which.
And I miss a Mac man. Looking ahead, what kind of legacy do you want to leave personally and through your work in real estate?
I'm extremely proud of the team we have built, the home team. I want that to exist after me. I want to leave that in the hands of hopefully at that point. I got a long time to go, just like you, before that's a reality, retired and all that. But retiring from real estate looks a little different. You don't have the 401k and all that. So I need to be mindful of
Hmm.
putting away and having accounts, having savings or investment properties, whatever it may be,
Oh,
to at some point step aside from this. But I hope the reason it's not a Lee Hamilton team or a Jordan Norman team or anyone's name is so that the team can prevail beyond me. That was always the intent. If I put Lee Hamilton on it, it dies the moment Lee Hamilton stops selling real estate. I want to build something that exists far beyond me. I'm hoping that we have a team that can succeed with that name and in this culture that we're building after I'm not the one taking those phone calls. So if that happens, if I die and the home team still exists, I have succeeded.
now you mentioned investing in other like properties. Do you have any advice or guidance on people that want to flip houses or buy property just to like rent out?
Absolutely. Yeah, we do that. I do that. I mean, it is my retirement plan.
Right.
I don't have any bones about saying that. I am buying properties actively.
We should talk off
That's
there
yeah, absolutely.
after this.
That's
Go ahead.
I don't compete with clients for properties, but I will say the general public oftentimes doesn't have some opportunities I may have because they come to me first. A lot of times, what you're looking at on the market, if it was a deal, it would have gotten gobbled up before it made it to the market. And I don't say that I'm never going to take advantage of a seller to make them less money. But there are opportunities that come where people just, hey, here's what I have, and I would really love to sell it, now, easy, clean, as is, whatever it may be, whatever value I can provide to them, other than going to market with it, extrapolate my fees, et cetera. There's ways to structure things that are beneficial and win-win for everybody. That honestly the general public may not see, and it's not a detriment to a seller. And again, I will never directly compete with the buyer for what their buyer needs are, but I get opportunities, and I'm able to take advantage of those opportunities to benefit myself, my personal finances, and my future.
So when you're out here in the field, handling your business on a day to day basis, what motivates you on like the difficult, like the hard days? What
Mhm.
keeps you grounded?
The hard days come and go pretty quick, I guess I would say. You just kind of grin and bear it. There's a lot of good in there too. Even on a bad day, I didn't deal with bad people all day, and there's no bad people, but difficult clients, and that's
Yeah, that's a
fine.
good way to put it.
We're
Yeah,
gonna
we'll
have
go with
those.
that.
We're gonna have those clients that just do need more. I don't fault them. If they need it, it's my job to provide it. I guess worst case scenario, takes about 30, 45 days to close a house. It might take a month or two to find it. Ultimately, though, even still, if I'm dealing with somebody that's just really a challenging client, I'm not going to say I'm not willing to work with them, but I do know that at some point they're not on my plate anymore, at least not forever. So it's not really an end game. I'm looking for 20, 30 years of retiring. I'm having to deal with stuff that may be more challenging. I'm gonna take it as it comes, and let the good outweigh the bad, and just harp on the good experiences when someone says, "Hey, thank you so much. We enjoyed working with you. You did a great job." Let that be what I hear, as opposed to the person that maybe didn't have a great experience. And I like to think that's probably not typically my fault. There's a lot of things that can make a bad experience. A lot of money involved in this. A lot of hurt feelings involved in this. Whether it's disrepair with the property or issues on the title of the property we didn't expect, survey issues, appraisal issues, things I cannot control. If someone gets upset about those items, I understand why they would look to me as if I've not done the best for them. I do get that because I'm the one that they're looking to for help there. If those things go bad, I like to rest knowing that I did do my part in the best for them. If things go poorly, chances are it wasn't my fault, and I can personally sleep knowing that. I'm still going to be respectful, mindful, conscientious, do everything I can for those people. At the end of the day, if I did my job right, I'm gonna look at the ones that went great and the smiling clients and the great reviews, and they're gonna outweigh the bad, and I'm gonna move on.
Okay. What does home mean to you? The word home, and I'm talking beyond just the physical space.
Yeah, that's fair because you got a home. I got a home here at that home team. Where I
Okay.
feel safe and comfortable, and where I
Mm-hmm.
know people love me and I love and care about and have support. Of course, I do have a home out at my actual. I know it's not the question you're asking, but that's a
Cool.
when I walk in under that roof or pull into that driveway. There's a safety net there, so to speak, where the people there don't care what I did at work today. They don't care if I sold a house or not. They don't care if I had a bad day. They're happy I'm home, and that's a place I can be happy. It's not. I'm not basing successes or failures on playing with the dogs or the kid or eating dinner with the wife, that's all successes. That's a comfortable, safe space that we can all be in, that we've been able to create. That's home, is that feeling of comfort, stability, support, where you love and be loved. Far more important than saying I sold a house today. That's going to happen. You do the work, the result will come. Being comfortable where your feet are planted is home.
Right. And earlier, just to circle back momentarily, when you're talking about like freeing up time to be able to go to the gym or go on a walk, do whatever you got to do, that has to be very vital in keeping work, and coming home, and like not having that get administered with your family. Having that monkey on your back, you don't bring it to,
You're right.
What I'm saying? You have that financial time, or that, you have financial freedom to have the time to take care of yourself.
Yep.
And that's very important. And fitness and nutrition is very connected with all that, in my opinion. Let's say if we have this conversation again in like 5 years, right? What would you hope that has changed or evolved in your journey?
Sure. I hope we do, by the way.
We will.
I'd like to see the team
Hey,
grow.
I mean, we ain't got to wait 5 years.
That's
You know what I'm saying?
We'll check in. I hope the team grows, and I don't mean necessarily in numbers of people. We look for quality over quantity, but I do hope it grows in culture, in reach, in what we can do for our community. The larger we grow, the bigger impact we can have. Rising tide floats all the ships. The better I do, the better we do. The better we do, the better I do. So I hope the whole thing grows, and naturally, as it has, slowly over time, it's bringing in the right people and growing the people that are here, watering the flowers that are in my garden, so to speak, so that we all have a chance to grow. I don't need to sell more. I don't feel like I need to specifically do more outside of work or home. I hope I can do what I do at a higher level always. I think that's what we're all trying to do,
100%, bro. Da, 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 da. But I love that beat. And to all you Clemson fans out there, South Carolina fans, keep the peace. It's just football. Yeah. Love you all. Thank you to all my listeners and my viewers. The Dap in the Hood podcast. Respect and love at Dap in the Hood. Peace. Before we get out of here, I want to take a moment to show love to Blue Collar Roofing, a trusted partner I work closely with. I spend time around the people in the process, and that's why I'm comfortable sharing this. If you're considering a roof replacement, they're currently offering $500 off when you use promo code DAP. When you visit their website, be sure to navigate to the online instant estimator. And during the questionnaire, enter DAP under the project details section so it's applied correctly. No scare tactics, no pressure, just honest conversations and quality work from people who stand behind what they do. Blue Collar Roofing, built on integrity, backed by work.